Okay, let's continue. Excuse the background, got some housemates, they're just entertaining some people in the kitchen, so. Anyway, let's continue here. Bit of fraud, 2 people caught for fraud. Wow, South African Defence Force member murdered his wife. Only 12 years. He only gets 12 years for murdering his wife? Really? So the Northern Cape sentenced John Thapelo, whatever his surname is, to 12 years imprisonment. He's murdered his wife, 26 years old, with a military assault rifle at a guest lodge in 2012. Unlawful possession of a military firearm and ammunition. So he shot her in the head. It's quite funny, he already had the weapons there. And then they had an argument, he probably confronted her about something. He just shot her in the head. So he got 5 years for the illegal possession of military firearm and weapons, with the intent to murder with it. You know? I mean, who knows what else he might have done if that weapons, you never know. 10 years imprisonment for murder. Okay. So he'll basically be in jail for 12 years. Now on good terms he might actually be out in what? 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, and he's probably been in jail since 2012. So you're telling me basically he might only get about 6 to 8 years for murdering his wife? Gotta be kidding me. That is not a lot for a life, especially such a young one. Yeah. More drug dealers arrested, happy days. Let's see here. Bethelsdorp, I think that's also in the Cape somewhere. Southeastern Cape. They got a drug bust. 2 men running towards a well-known drug post. Arrested the suspects. Confiscated some drugs. That's it. I'm not sure how much, what kind of jail term these guys will get. They might just make some new contacts inside of jail. Expand their businesses. Yo. Okay, there's been a shootout in Durban. Suspect killed. Let's see what it was about. Probably some kind of hijacking or business robbery. Let's see here. Arrested 2 suspects during a shootout on the highway. So basically a car was stolen. 3 occupants stole it. They probably pulled guns on the police and the police shot back and killed them. Okay. Car was stolen while the guy was asleep. Whatever. So 65-year-old in another area in Natal, a black rural area, was arrested for attempted murder. So they went to his township, searched for the suspect. He was involved in a house robbery and rape last year. 65-year-old, you got to be kidding me. 65-year-old busy with hardcore crime like that? How long has he been busy with this kind of stuff? And he still shot a police officer. That is brazen. The guy will probably die of AIDS in jail in a couple of years. He will probably not even get a big sentence. I mean, he'll get a big sentence, but he'll just die of AIDS or TB. Yeah, so they're going to check if the crime was used in the gun was used in other crimes. You can be pretty sure it was. I mean, house robbery and rape, 65-year-old. That is weird. Okay, let's see here. That's messed up. What's happening here? So the museum is basically being ripped apart. So there's basically a 1.5 million pound / dollar museum. It looks like the place is empty. There's nothing happening there anymore. So in Port Elizabeth, Southeast Cape, should I say the Eastern Cape, close to Natal. Criminals are basically stripping the whole thing of everything: water pipes, electricity, electric wiring, power sockets, fencing, wooden fittings, the whole rigmarole. So the museum was built in honor of anti-apartheid heroes, which makes sense, but angry residents complained that money had been spent on it while they lived in squalor, which is true. There's a lot of black people living in very, very poor conditions. And they're looking for the government to help them out. Provide some housing for them, help them with jobs and education, etc., etc. So they complained about the museum. Let's see what happened then. Okay. Here's that life stories of a bunch of activists. And the building won several international architectural awards. Okay. So what? They complain about the building, that means nothing. Okay, so there was a lot of protesting about housing. A lot of people that didn't have houses were protesting they wanted houses, and that was the end of the museum, 8 years after it was opened. Well, and the library and gallery next to it closed as well, and that's it. So the only little piece of upliftment the community actually had was closed down. Well done. They couldn't even be proud of it. I mean, you're talking about a museum for the heroes. They couldn't be proud of it. They just had to complain. Yeah. And now the residents just went and basically stripped the whole thing apart. Which they do with everything in any case. It's a bit of a shame. It could have been something they could have been proud of. Could have made a plan with it. They even broke the mosaic that was built showing the freedom fighters. It's probably just people complaining, saying all the stuff that was in there. So they actually got the budget to reopen the museum. I'm pretty sure the local residents would put pressure on them again and just raid the place again. There you go. Until we have decent houses, this museum will not open. And that's the end of it. You cannot reason with that. And there's millions and millions of people in South Africa without houses. So they might wait a long time before they get their houses, if ever. The economy in South Africa is under a bit of pressure at the moment. You can't just keep on giving houses away for cheap or for almost nothing and not get the economic improvements in the country as well. That doesn't help. Okay. Yeah, the idea is to promote tourism, Could have gotten buses and buses of people in. A couple of people could have opened a shop there. Could have gotten some work going. Could have gotten people driving tourists around, showing them some stuff, telling them some stories, whatever. Nothing. Absolutely nothing happening. Bummer. Yeah, what a shame. Okay, let's see what else is around. Yeah, the neglect of the horses of the South African Defence Force. Not even going to go there. Okay, fast track land reform in South Africa. Let's see here. Look how beautiful it is there in the Cape. It's beautiful. I think this is the Cape. This is maybe Natal. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Fast tracking. What are they fast tracking? Submissions, proposals, amendments, expropriation without compensation. I am pretty sure there's a lot of people eyeing beautiful land like this and saying they want it. Question is, how will it look 5 years after they get it? We all know how it will look. Not the same. That's all I have to say about that. Not the same. What a shame. Okay, they have existing programs that's still happening while they're working on expropriation without compensation. In the meantime, while they're trying to get this law through, you get a lot of black people just taking the law into their own hands, saying it's a done deal, we want land, we're taking it. And then everybody that owns land, white, black, Indian, colored, need to go and jump around and try to protect the little they have. Although it's probably more than exponentially more factors more than what these other poor people have. Cases, blah blah blah, whatever. Talk about farms. I really don't think black people should be staying on white farms. I think white farmers should pay black people better. If it means they have to automate their farming more, they should. Let black people that live on the farms have a bit more money, a bit more dignity. Let them rather move into the towns, have a bit more for their families. The wife can maybe work in a shop or whatever. Things like that. It's much better. White farmers has basically been the gatekeepers for a lot of the people working for them. People just go and live day by day, they have nothing. And the farmers, they have a fair bit, They complain, but they drive around in their Jaguars and their expensive E-Class Mercs or S-Class Mercs. Some of them have a couple of private planes and all rigmarole. And in the meantime, the black workers, they get nothing. Some of them work really hard, some of them not that hard, some of them are really good, some of them are criminals, doesn't matter. The whole setup is wrong. It should not happen. White farmers should really stop doing it. They're just putting fuel on the fire. For people to point fingers at them, they shouldn't do that. Just like really tell the black people that they can go live in the towns, you know, maybe get a little government house or whatever, you know, and again get paid a bit more money. You know, if farmers in Europe and America and Canada and those places can pay their farm workers more, or in Australia, I'm pretty sure white farmers can make a plan. If they probably don't want to, because it's so easy to have all these cheap workers around. You know, their reasoning, or their counter argument to what I'm saying now will be, you know what, if we do that, then there's a lot of black people that won't have work and blah blah blah. You know, fair enough, it might be that there might be a lot of them that don't have work, but they can go look for other work, you know, better work, because you're paying them absolutely nothing. You're making them live in utter poverty. They'd be lucky if they can maybe buy 1 or 2 sets of clothes for their children in a year. You know, that's no good. There's a couple of fingers pointing at you. Just stop doing it. You know, get that demonization and damnation off you. Get that pointing fingers at you and saying, you know what, you keep on oppressing the others away. Just get rid of it. Don't let it happen. Okay, restitution, blah blah blah. They've done gajillions of restitutions, it doesn't matter. 2.1 million beneficiaries, and out of those beneficiaries they've got zero productivity. They've got probably negative productivity out of it. I'm pretty sure they have negative productivity. So yeah, either way, interesting. Revitalization of rural towns, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, can only go and revitalize rural towns if you have a productive economy in a rural town. That only comes through tourism, mining, or otherwise serious commercial farming. There's nothing else that's got a rural town going anywhere. You know, if you're lucky, you might have a bit of logistics, but that will all be based around mining or otherwise farming. There's been nothing else that will drive the logistics business there. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. Let's see here. I think I'm going to stop this one as well.